Hey, what do you hear? What do you say? My Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Google Plus, your sister's ads, Pony Express. Vic Dibitetto here. Very ticked off, Vic. Before I continue, I just want to address some of the mutants who always write, why are you wearing a seatbelt if you're not going anywhere? Well, you see, stupid, after I'm done with the video, I proceed to leave my driveway and I go to a store. You know, I don't like to wear the seatbelt. I don't want to wear the seatbelt, but it's like the mask. It's the law. I hope that cleared it up for you. Anyway, you know what ticks me off? Understanding what the Confederacy was is not a political topic. It's just a historical fact. And the fact that some people cannot understand this. Now listen, no matter how bright you think you are, or how woke you think you are, what I'm about to talk about is not political. It just isn't. I'm going to talk about a social issue using only facts and truth. To some of you fucking people who just don't get it and want to make it seem like I'm picking sides, yeah, I'm picking sides. I'm picking common sense and decency and fact and truth and reality over your fucking delusional stupidity. This is not a Republican or a Democrat thing, and it isn't left versus right or conservative versus liberal, and it damn sure shouldn't be. And to those of you who tell me to stick to my comedy, you should have stuck to your father's fucking leg. I'm now getting posts from brain surgeons that say, oh, if we're taking down statues, then we should take down Washington and Jefferson and Franklin statues because they own slaves. Or, oh, we should do away with their faces on money because they own slaves. My God, you people are either incredibly stupid, which is really fucked up, or you just don't understand the difference, which is really fucked up. Listen up, because this is the issue and it's fact. Nobody is making this up. There was a time in this country when slavery was legal. Yes, this is definitely America's greatest sin by far, but slavery was legal. So if anybody participated in it, while it is horrific and unbelievable, it was legal. Let's just stick with that fact for a moment. Here's the difference between a statue of George Washington and a statue of Robert E. Lee. The Confederate statues being taken down are of people who were traitors to this country because they formed their own country and went to war with the United States and killed our armed forces and civilians. Do you get it? George Washington, while he was a slave owner, was doing so legally. And he wasn't a traitor who tried to overthrow the United States government. Robert E. Lee and every other general, officer, or soldier who fought for the Confederacy did this. They renounced their citizenship to the United States. They formed their own country. They declared war against the United States of America. The women and men, both civilian and military, they killed were citizens of the United States. They were traitors who tried to invade and take over the United States of America. Robert E. Lee led some of the most brutal and deadly battles in the Civil War. The Battle of Gettysburg. That was in Pennsylvania. U.S. soldiers and civilians were murdered by the tens of thousands. Robert E. Lee was offered a position to lead U.S. forces in the Civil War. He made the decision to decline and go lead the Confederacy in a war to overthrow the United States government and maintain the practice of slavery. That's what Robert E. Lee did. That's a fact. George Washington, Ben Franklin, and Thomas Jefferson were not traitors. Did not kill Americans, did not renounce their citizenship, and did not try to overthrow the government. They did nothing illegal, and they served their country with honor. That's the whole issue right there in a fucking nutshell. You fucking numbskulls. Do you get it now? Probably not. This issue is about the people who decided to fuck the United States and fight it to destroy it. They were the enemy. They were the traitors. It's their statues that need to come down. What country has statues of traitors and people who tried to destroy the country? Who celebrates that? And stop already with the bullshit of, oh, you're trying to erase history by taking down statues. Who needs certain statues to remind them of history? Seriously? Do we need statues of Hitler to remind us of World War II? That's the stupidest argument anybody could give, yet some people are giving it. Is anyone saying, let's remove all references to the Civil War from all history books and let's not teach it in school? No one is saying that, for God's sakes. They are saying we should take down memorials that honor traitors because no country in their right mind does that. So now there's a discussion in New York City about taking down the Teddy Roosevelt statue in front of the Museum of Natural History. Now, first of all, Teddy didn't make that statue. Some artist decided to make a statue, and he put Teddy on a horse, and he put a black man standing to his left and a Native American standing to his right. And some people are saying that this is an offensive way to portray the relationship of those three races. Now, art, like comedy, is subjective. Art is interpreted. The point here is no one has a problem with Teddy Roosevelt as a man or any of his other statues. This one statue in particular, conceived and created by some artist, is being interpreted as being offensive. Think about it this way. Let's say an artist decided to make a statue of George Washington with a SWAT sticker on it. Guess what? That statue ain't going up in public. Not because of who George was, but because the artist's creation was offensive. Get it? If this isn't clear, then do me a favor. Go take a walk into the woods for a few thousand years and come back when you're evolved. I'll bet you didn't know that at one time in this country, only 100 or so years ago, child labor, domestic violence, marital rape, and drinking and driving was legal in this country. But it's not now, because things change, because we evolve as humans, because we learn and grow and become sensitive and decent and educated. Over time, we change. Or we should, as people. Just because something was acceptable back then does not mean it is now. 43% of the United States military is now made up of non-white males. Imagine that many people serving during basic training, and the fort you were at was named after a guy who enslaved and raped your family tree. Oh, and was a traitor to the United States on top of that. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking some of your family members might have a problem with that. Over 55 years ago, Bob Dylan wrote, "The times, they are a-changin'," and they are, and they do. The times change, and this is another moment in time. Change is inevitable. The only thing worse than change is no change. Understanding what the Confederacy was is not a political topic. It's just a historical fact, and the fact that some people cannot understand this, that's what ticks me off.